The Engrossment Rules, Resolution, and Credentials Committee meeting is called to order. Mr. Clerk, if you would call the roll, please.
Alderwoman Howard,
Present.
Alderman Green, Alderman Todd,
Present.
Chairwoman Titus.
Okay.
Alderman, when your tongue get bad.
Okay, present.
Chairwoman Titus.
You should have seen that, Alderman was a
Present,
gift.
okay.
Green, you
Gift
have
of gab.
three
This-
present, you have a quorum.
Okay, we're gonna skip excused alderman, we're gonna go to approval of the minutes. Okay, we have the minutes before us for Wednesday, March 4th. Take a minute to look over them if you have them, and then I'd entertain a motion to pass the minutes out, approve the minutes of March 4th, 2020. Okay, have you had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes, I have.
I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of
Amen.
March 12th, 2020.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for March 2020. March
Second.
second. Previous roll.
Can't have previous
No,
roll.
that's right.
Mr. Clerk, if you'll call the roll.
Alderwoman Howard,
Aye.
Alderman Green, Alderman Todd,
Aye.
Chairwoman Titus.
Okay, aye.
You have three aye votes.
Okay, by your vote, we approve the minutes of March 12th, 2020. We're gonna go a little bit, we're not gonna get everything done here today. We have a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go a little out of order. I'm doing, at the request of Alderwoman Howard, who is always here and is a workhorse, we're gonna do her board bills first. I'm gonna give the committee, which I have a great committee, so we're gonna give them a little priority. So we're gonna do board bill 237 and then 240. Okay, and board bill 237 is a board bill sponsored by Alderwoman Carol Howard and is relating to the appointment, relates to the appointment and salaries of certain employees in the Collector of Revenue's office by repealing ordinance 70020 and allocating certain other employees to a grade with rate and including an emergency clause. And it shall be effective with the start of the first pay period following approval by the mayor. And the Alderwoman is actually here. If we have any questions, take a few minutes to go through here.
My paper gets messed up.
And I have a question, Alderwoman.
Mhm.
On page 2 of 15, custodian, seems like it's highlighted 8G. Was that a change or is that just?
Hold on.
Now, this is 237 we're doing.
I don't know why that's bolded.
Okay,
I don't know if that's just a Scrivener's error or.
okay. actually have the board bill that is changing, the ordinance attached. So it's actually the board bill, but it's really ordinance, it's ordinance 70020. It's where it says board bill 39, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so
That was
I
passed
think we
in
should have that as
2015.
when we attach it, it should be described as an ordinance instead of a board bill.
Yeah, I don't know why they did the ordinance instead of the board bill.
No, they did the board bill instead of the ordinance.
Right, that's
yeah,
what I'm
mhm.
saying, the board bill instead of the ordinance is what I meant. The only thing I have,
Go ahead.
are you ready?
Yes.
There's, gaps in,
Alderwoman Howard is speaking.
okay, there's gaps. The only thing, and these are probably considered more, Scrivener or style,
Right.
that we have numbers, line numbers that have nothing on them. Is there an easy fix to that, Mr. Clerk?
It can be. It depends upon,
Can I call upon, we're doing this on Thursday. That's gonna put a lot of, work on the, staff already. Can we just leave this
That's
particular
fine.
one so we can get them done? Is that all right?
That's fine.
Is that all right?
that's okay.
Okay, cause usually we try to do Wednesday, so we give them time.
Time to.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine. I mean, it was in the
I-
previous bill
Right.
also, so, and nobody,
Right.
but
Okay, if it
Since
wasn't
we're
Thursday.
perfecting.
I know, but if it wasn't, we already
I know.
perfected, so.
Well,
if
I
it wa-
mean-
Right, I know what you're saying, but if it wasn't Thursday, but we had to
I'd do
move
it,
this
yeah,
to do
I
with it.
get it.
Right,
so,
so,
Okay.
and the important thing is, they're gonna get
They're
that raise.
gonna get their money.
There you go.
that's right.
So if we don't have any further questions, I'd entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 237 out with a do pass recommendation.
Second.
I'd
No.
entertain a motion.
Oh,
So moved. So moved.
previous roll.
You need to second.
Okay, so
Second.
she's
So
making the
moved.
motion.
Second.
Previous roll.
Okay, I have a motion to pass out Board Bill 237 with the do pass recommendation. We have a second, we have a call for previous roll. Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, 237 is passed out with a do pass recommendation. The next board bill we have is it's board bill sponsored by Alderwoman Carol Howard. It's Board Bill 240. Okay. And it's a ordinance to regulate employer and employee working relationship within the medical examiner's office, including a compensation plan, terms and condition of employment, benefits, leaves of absence, and authorize for a deferred compensation plan, repealing ordinance 70019, allocating certain other employees to a grade with rate, and including an emergency clause. The provision of this section contained in this ordinance shall be effective at the start of the first pay period following approval by the mayor. This is a big,
For such what I would think to be a smaller office.
that's why I'm really. Okay, do we have the?
It goes into detail about the time.
I'm looking to see if we have 7001, that's what, do we have the other ordinance? Is that you?
You should go out, let me.
Can you turn that down?
Yeah, let me turn it down.
Thank you.
Thank you, sorry.
No problem. I don't think
We
have.
do, we do.
Where is it? Oh, it's, okay,
It's in there
section
It's-
6.
after, if you look at the bottom, the new bill is
59,
in
61,
bold,
60,
and then
60.
after that,
Also,
see, after the bottom, and then it goes into May 1st, 2015.
oh,
They gave us the.
they put it as,
As,
They did the
Part of
same
it.
thing.
they did the same thing as the
Okay.
ordinance.
They didn't
They
put the
didn't do the
ordinance, no,
ordinance,
they
they did
put
the
the
board bill.
but I don't think I have Board Bill 38. Mine is,
Yeah, you do. Look at the look at down here. And
Oh,
You'll
okay.
see the difference on the,
Okay.
see, the new one is bold,
okay.
And the old one is-
38,
is in
I see.
regular type.
Okay,
and the dates are different.
But it should say ordinance.
right.
Yeah, it does say ordinance. but, yeah.
No, here it is, okay. Seven oh oh nine. So that's seven. But they also, did they not have, do you know if they had a compensation deferred, what did they say they changed here, a deferred compensation plan before? And did they just change it or not? Do you know, Carol?
I don't know. For deferred compensation, leaves of absence, and, I mean, we've always had a citywide deferred comp.
That's what I thought, so
So-
they,
Yeah, I think that.
but it says authorization for, so maybe it's just that we authorize them to change it,
Change it,
something, not
Or if they
to
wish
begin
to
it, okay.
participate, yeah.
And you have 237 too, what did we just do?
We just did, this is
37.
240, yeah.
So, and now we're
Just those
doing,
two.
so, and you have, okay. 240, okay. And just a question for the clerk. How long do we keep the alderperson's name on something if they resign or, because I see one in here with, a former committee member, and do we just leave it on there to the end of the, session?
End of the session.
Okay.
Oops, I'm
Yep.
sorry, I'm looking
I'm
at
trying to
papers
figure
that
out
aren't
the
mine, I know. I'm trying to find my agenda. I can't find my, unless I put it under here.
No problem. You just take it.
Okay.
Oh, because he was calling.
He was on the committee there. Yes. No.
Okay.
Come on, Paul.
Oh, here, right, you did, right. Are there any questions by the committee? Alderwoman Howard?
No questions?
Alderman Todd, any questions
questions.
regarding 240, Board Bill 240? Then I'd entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 240 out with the due pass recommendation.
So moved,
Second.
previous roll.
Have a motion, second, call for previous roll. Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 240 is passed out with the due pass recommendation. Okay, we're gonna get back on, starting with the Board Bill 189, Alderwoman Christina Gracia, Alderwoman Kara Spencer, Alderwoman Megan Green, Alderman Dan Guenther, Alderwoman Lisa Middlebrook, Alderman Joseph Vaccarro, Alderwoman Annie Rice, and Alderwoman Pamela Boyd sponsored this bill as an ordinance prohibiting the carrying of concealed firearms by persons who are subject to a restraining order or who have been convicted of misdemeanor crimes of domestic violence as provided in this ordinance, and the firearm such person is in receipt of has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce as prohibited by Title 18, Section 922G, subsection 8 and subsection 9 of the United States Code and containing an emergency clause. Could you ask them to please keep them down? Thank you. And remind them we can hear them really well in here.
They quickly apologize.
No, we're gonna have to put a bigger sign up saying we can hear you in here.
That's Davis out there.
Okay. So if you have a restraining order, you cannot. Or misdemeanor crime. Okay, any questions, Alderwoman Howard?
No questions.
Any questions, Alderman Todd?
No question.
Hearing no questions, I'd entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 189 out with a due pass recommendation.
So moved?
Second.
Previous roll, I'll be previous roll.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's all
previous roll.
right.
Okay.
We have a motion for Board Bill 189 to be passed out with a due pass recommendation. We have a second, a call for previous roll. Any objection to previous roll?
No.
Hear none. Board Bill 189 is passed out with a due pass recommendation. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 190. This is a board bill sponsored by Alderman Joseph Vaccarro. It establishes a four-way stop sign at the intersection of Olathe Avenue and January Avenue. Board bill contains an emergency clause also. Any questions, Alderwoman Howard?
No questions. I think we need another stop sign in that ward.
Any questions, Alderman Todd?
No, I don't have any.
Hearing no, having no question, I'd entertain a motion. Carol Howard.
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
I entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 190 out with a due pass recommendation. We have a motion by Alderwoman Howard, seconded by Alderman Todd. Previous roll by the chair. Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 190 is passed out with a due pass recommendation. Stop it, Carol.
City always needs more stop signs.
I probably put 2 up in, maybe 3 in my lifetime that I've been at the board. Board Bill, I'm sorry, item number 3 is Board Bill 191, introduced by Alderwoman Annie Rice, Alderwoman Kara Spencer, Alderwoman Pamela Boyd, Alderwoman Christina Ingrassia, Alderwoman Heather Navarro, Alderwoman Megan Green, Alderman Dan Guenther, Alderwoman Sarah Martin, Alderman Jesse Todd, Alderman Larry Arnowitz. It's an ordinance repealing ordinance 68597 by creating and defining 6 temporary food permit types with a permit fee schedule, identifying low-income, low-access census tracts, establishing a temporary food safety training special fund to help pay for temporary food safety training, recognizing and requiring a free application with the Health Department for cottage food production operation temporary food permit waivers, establishing by revised Missouri statute section 196298, and further explaining what happens to a new annually approved food permit that is not approved within 90 days all to be codified in chapter 11.42 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis, okay? I'd like the attachment on page 1 of 11, bolded. And also, if it's an attachment, I would like it also labeled as an attachment. So it's the ordinance 685, so when the ordinance starts on page 1, it should say attachment. B, so where is attachment A? What do you have?
Yeah, that's. And the attachments, attachment A is the map,
Okay, and is that
but
referred
that's
to?
not, I don't know that it's referred to.
Yeah, right, but I'm saying if it's referred to someplace in the,
I mean, they refer to.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Lila.
here's A, it's on page 4 of 11,
Oh,
and it
okay.
needs to be highlighted or bold.
Oh. What line?
18.
Okay. All right. But the ordinance, well, I guess, are we labeling, that should be labeled, shouldn't it?
Yes, it's labeled ordinance, but it's just.
But I mean, it should be
A,
labeled
attachment B.
attachment B.
Yeah, that's, you already have that one.
Interesting. course, an emergency clause.
Okay, has the committee had time to go through the board bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 191, committee substitute out with the do pass recommendation with the corrections as proposed by the committee.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll.
No.
Any objection to previous roll?
No.
Hearing none, 191, committee substitute is passed out with a do pass recommendation. We will have no response from Alderwoman Howard. Board Bill 196 is a board bill proposed by Alderman Joe Vaccaro that establishes a three-way stop sign at the intersection of Mardell Avenue and Macklin Avenue, regulating all traffic traveling eastbound on Mardell Avenue and Macklin Avenue, and regulating all traffic traveling northbound and southbound on Macklin Avenue at Mardell Avenue, and containing an emergency clause.
There we go. Tell them to be quiet out there.
No, I'm not gonna have that conversation with God. Okay, has the committee had time
Yes, ma'am.
to
We
go over
have.
Board Bill 196? If so, I'd entertain any questions, Alderwoman Howard?
No questions at
Any
all.
questions, Alderman Todd?
No question.
Having no question, I'd entertain a motion for 196, Board Bill 196 to be passed out with a do pass recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll. Any objection to previous roll?
No, ma'am.
Board Bill 196 is passed out with a do pass recommendation. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 217, introduced by Alderman Joseph Roddy. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and the comptroller of the city of St. Louis to execute upon receipt and in consideration of the sum of $250 and other goods and valuable consideration, a quitclaim deed to remise, release, and forever quitclaim unto Julia D. Lopez and Veronica A. Nold, certain city-owned property located in City Block 5114, which property is known and numbered as 4219 Gibson Avenue in the city of St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know if this is a lot or actual property.
I believe it's a lot. It's a lot adjoining another property
That's all.
that is getting another development, and these people live next to it, so they wanna make a, I believe this is, let's see, part of the garden? No, this is just a lot that people live next to, and they're developing the one on the other side of it, and they want this as an easement. I believe it's it's an LRA lot, I believe.
No, if it's LRA, they'd have to sell it this at
No, it's,
4219, it
actually
has to be a
belongs to
city.
comptroller. Cause the comptroller's office was here for the hearing. And what committee did it go through? Ways and Means, I guess.
It is a lot. Exhibit A is bolded, very good. Alderwoman Howard, do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Alderman Todd, any
I
questions?
don't have any questions.
If, being there are no questions, I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill number 217 be passed out with a do pass recommendation.
So moved?
Second.
Previous roll. Any objection to previous
No
roll?
objection.
Hearing none, 217 is passed out with a do pass recommendation. The next board bill is Board Bill 218, which is the sponsor is Alderman Joseph Roddy. And the city of St. Louis is the owner of certain real property located at 1485-1487 South Vanderveer Avenue, 63110. The property currently sits as a vacant lot. The Transgender Memorial LLC plan to purchase the property from the city to preserve the Transgender Memorial Garden of St. Louis in perpetuity and as a memorial to murdered trans people, as a green space with a grove, a gathering space for trans and LBGTQ community in the greater community of the Grove in St. Louis. The bill will have a positive impact on the community as well as help beautify the neighborhood and surrounding area. They also are gonna sell this for the sum, are they gonna sell this for $1,250? City-owned property. 1469 through 1473, and 1485 through 1487 South Vanderveer. Have any questions,
No
Alderwoman
questions.
Howard? Any questions, Alderman Todd? No, having no question, I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 218 be passed out with a do pass recommendation.
So moved?
Previous roll.
Second.
Second.
Previous roll.
Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 218 is passed out with a do pass recommendation. Board Bill 224 is a board bill by Alderman Jack Coatar. The proposed bill would allow the vacation of the alley in City Block 18 bounded by Locust Street, 7th Street, Olive, and 8th Street in accordance with Charter Authority and conditioned upon compliance with Section 14 of Article 21 of the Charter. We're not selling this land, we're just vacating traffic, both foot and vehicle. But it's still, the city will still own it and still has right to enter.
As will utilities.
so, let's see. So they say the owners, the ordinance is ineffective unless the owner of the area to be vacated must fulfill the following monetary requirements if applicable. City water division so as to cover the full expense of removal or relocation of water facilities. But the owners of the area to be vacated, I thought, was the city of St. Louis. This is not
No,
written.
my
right.
understanding, they're turning it over to Lashley Bailey.
But they're not turning over ownership. They specifically reserve the right that the city owns it. This is not written right. If you look at section 3, it says, all rights of the public land are reserved to the city of St. Louis. Conditional vacate, both surface or vehicle. That stick sounds like David Sweeney out there. All rights of the public in the land bearing, because if we were selling it, we would get paid.
I think they're just vacating the alley is what it looks like.
Yeah, but then in 9, it says the owner of must fulfill these following monetary requirements. Okay,
They'll be ineffective unless they fulfill those requirements to full expense of any removal or relocation of water facilities, traffic, lighting, and,
right,
any expenses incurred.
but the owner is still the city. This is not written right, because I understand what they're doing, they're vacating land so that, Lashley can consolidate part of their property. But the city is still gonna remain right to enter upon and everything else, and then so will the utilities. But they don't say they're selling the land to Lashley, so the owner then still remains the,
But I think what they're saying is Lashley will pay for any removal of water or any of the
that's not what they
utilities.
say the owner. Hello.
Right.
The owner shall not place any improvements over the area. So where are they getting this owner from? I don't see any
Maybe it's
place.
misworded.
It is. And that's what makes documents not legal.
Right. Because they say the petitioners proposes to use the area to consolidate property.
Right? I'm sorry,
They
Jay.
should, I guess it should be the petitioners will submit on section 9.
Also, section 4 says the owner of the land may at their election. So this is, I'm gonna call Jack. I mean, and if this is correct, he can still suspend the rules and pass it, and we can get it done, because we're gonna have to have one meeting while we're out of session, but I don't know if this is saying what he wants it to say. I don't think owners, is the correct language, considering the city is the owner of the land. Vacating the land does not sell the land or, change the owner. just says that we're gonna vacate it so it can't have pedestrian and vehicle traffic. If you want to make the, Lashley the owners, you have to have some kind of sale.
Yeah, I don't think that's the intent. I think they just wanna vacate and let them use the place.
Then who do they want to?
But it seems like I'm you
You know what I'm saying? Who
I-
do they
I know,
want to do
it's-
this?
yeah.
Do they
Well, I
want
mean,
Lashley or the city to remove, do the expenses and clean it
Because
up?
it's not clear that
Right.
Lashley, the petitioner,
Exactly.
it should be the petitioner shall put money, aside
This
for
one,
these things.
It's gonna
to
be
cover the
held
expenses.
so that we can, I'll try to, I'll call
Okay,
him.
see what you can find out.
Right.
Let's move on to something we can get done.
Okay, the next one is, Board Bill number 27, introduced by Alderwoman Pamela Boyd. It's regulating the storage, transportation, and disposal of waste tires and requiring waste tires haulers to register with the Department of Public Safety, and tire dealers, waste tire processing facilities, and waste tire holding sites to obtain permits from the Department of Public Safety, and providing penalties for violation of the provision thereof, and containing an effective date and severability clause. I know exactly what this is pertaining to.
Illegal dumping.
No, we have a place right at that, where our wards intersect at Union and Harney. And it's a tire place that's been a family business for a long time, and it's been, used to be in the first ward. They changed and do, used tires, and then the young man has inherited. It was his grandfather, and he died, and his mother died, and now he has it, and he lets those tires get up higher than buildings. And it's really a hazard all around. And we've tried to work with him for years.
I think it also deals with the illegal dumping where people come up here and they dump them in alleys and so forth and they're charging people to get rid of them.
Well, that's why the used, people who do used tires, they may or may not charge a fee, and then they don't pay somebody to come pick them up. They just dump them up and down in the alleys.
That's what I'm saying. Or they do pay somebody and they.
And that person does it, right?
Right, and that person does it.
committee had time to go over the board bill? Alderwoman Howard, do you have any questions or concerns?
I have a concern on
Okay.
page 21 to 25, there's a typographical error, line 10. Salvage yard or salvage yard may, it should just be may.
Yes,
Okay,
10.
10.
Salvage yards or
S7.
salvage yards, it's a S.
S-
I think the S is this, it
inadvertently.
should, no, it should be salvage yard or salvage yards. That S is
Yeah.
supposed to be with the yards and not with the
After
may.
D rather than,
Yeah.
yeah. And that, the bill looks clean. There's one line that's not fulfilled on page 6 of 25. Line 3 is not, is blank, but
Right,
good work.
6 of 25, if it's gonna be a big thing. Page, line 3, page 6 of 25.
Oh,
Okay, so if it's gonna take a lot of time, don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Okay,
Looks like good legislation to me.
it does to me
And
too.
we haven't had anything before, so I think this is a wonderful idea.
I have another word I'd like to do with the people who dump tires, but we'll stick to this right here. Alderman Todd, do you have any questions? Okay, if not, I'd entertain entertain a motion that Board Bill 227 be passed out with a due pass recommendation.
So moved.
Second,
Previous roll.
Any objection to previous roll?
no, objection.
Hearing none, Board Bill 227 is passed out with a due pass recommendation.
I have a question.
Yes. Alderwoman?
I guess my question is, don't we already have an ordinance that covers these prohibited commercial vehicles in certain areas? Or does it have to specify the
There
area?
are some, yes, but sometimes they
They
don't have
don't.
them. It didn't cover them, okay? I have some residential streets that never had anything passed. I had to pass them. So
But the signs were posted.
no, signs weren't posted. So,
Oh, but I'm saying that there are areas where signs are posted, but I don't know that
but he's saying that,
legislation was passed.
okay.
I don't know.
Oh, that was a long time ago. So there are areas like on Market Place that says no commercial vehicles. That was passed a long time ago.
Okay.
Okay, so you will have signs already up, so that's,
Right.
but it is an ordinance. I've tracked it down.
Each one is an ordinance.
Right,
Just like stop signs are an
Right.
ordinance. Okay.
right. If you go on Lindell, there's no trucks right there on Lindell.
Yeah.
That was an ordinance from a long time ago.
I thought it was like, one
Citywide,
citywide ordinance that they were posted. Okay, that's all I have.
So unless it's posted, it's not against the law.
well, you have no way of knowing if it's against the law or not. It could have been posted and a sign been knocked down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but on the safe side, if you don't see anything posted, then if you can't track it down, then you pass legislation saying that you don't want that. Say, if people are driving up and down on Enright with trucks, and you don't see anything posted, and you can't trace down anything about Enright being prohibited from having trucks, then you might want to pass your own legislation.
And then on page 1 of 3, line 18 is blank.
I saw that.
And then at page 2 of 3, line 1 is blank.
I saw that too, right.
Okay.
That may not take too long since it's a small, okay,
That should be-
right. Okay, any questions, further questions, Alderwoman Howard?
No further questions.
Any questions, Alderman Todd?
No questions.
Okay, hearing none, I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill number 232 be passed out with a due pass recommendation.
So moved.
Second. Previous.
Previous roll, I'm
All
sorry.
right, okay, any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, 232 is passed out with a due pass recommendation. Okay, after this one, I'm gonna have to take a 5-minute break. I've been sitting here since 9 o'clock this morning. Okay, yes. Board Bill number 233 is a board bill introduced by Alderman Dan Guenther. It's an ordinance repealing ordinance number 63107, which relates to a lease between the City of St. Louis, Missouri, and the Manufacturers Railway Company, a subsidiary of Anheuser-Busch Company, authorizing the execution of a new lease agreement between the same parties under certain terms and conditions for a period of 5 years, with 4 5-year mutual options and containing a severability clause. The new lease sets the rent at $54,563 annually and increases the rent by 3% per year thereafter. after this one, we're gonna stop, so we can do this one, this will be the last one, and then we'll just have to come back in here and do, we've done a lot. Gotta get going somewhere.
Lights blinked.
I haven't looked outside.
Yeah.
It's not raining as hard, at least. It's not raining as hard as it was. This amends a ordinance by Marty Abusi. There's one little error, I'll just show you on page. And it's really just, you don't even have to, it's a double, 5.
5 is on 2 pages now.
No, option period 4, lease year 21, it's got a double sign for the dollar sign.
That's in
That's-
the ordinance portion.
Yes, no, it's in lease agreement,
Lease
exhibit A. It's on page 5.
Exhibit A. So that's the lease assurance. Okay.
Exhibit A, board bill,
Page 5. Exhibit A. It should say what?
it's just double,
Oh, the double.
right, it's just little. This is gonna be it, committee, and we'll have to
Okay.
come back. I do have a statement I wanna say that I always have concern, and why I read through this. I've already reached out to our, city councilor, because in these board bills, they always have this statement that says, in section 3, which is on page 2 of 2, the mayor and comptroller and their designated representatives with advice and concurrence of the city council and the port authority commission are hereby further authorized to make any changes to the documents, agreements, and instruments approved and authorized by this ordinance as may be consistent with the intent of this ordinance and necessary and appropriate in order to carry out the matters herein authorized with no such further action of the Board of Aldermen necessary to authorize such changes. I had already reached out to the city council and said I had concerns that this was appearing more and more in language. That's what happened over with, where the hockey team plays, they changed some language. So,
And this authorizes that.
and so, what I told him, Julian and I are gonna meet about, what I want is that even when they change something, that they at least give us notice what they're changing. And then we will be on notice if we can say, that wasn't our intent. Like, they changed, the whole intent of that piece of legislation when they did it for the hockey team. So I want some kind of notice provision put in here. I'm not asking it for now, but I'm saying in the future. He and I have already been having conversations, because I'm concerned if they keep doing that, they will be the only people that will know it's been changed, and we don't know if that was our intent in this or not. So I'm not comfortable.
And I could be comfortable with some language that would say, in order to protect the city from litigation, you know, in other words, if there would be something, and we already say that if there's anything, where is that, and usually it's kind of boilerplate, but if there's anything to be there, in any event, any of the sorts shall be determined to have been unlawful or on the remaining parts section shall remain.
Right.
I mean, that seems like that would cover that.
I just
don't
want
know,
us
and
to
I
be
don't-
put on notice,
Right.
okay? Because we didn't know that they changed the other ordinance, and we don't know when the
Exactly. Yeah, I
planning
get it.
commission does that. And even though, if they just sent over and said, we had to change $200 to $400, and this is where we changed it at, then we would have some kind of notice, and we might say, no, we didn't intend for it to be 400, we meant for it to be 2, or vice versa. Or if they change something more major, then I just think the board ought to be notified
Right.
when they make changes, okay?
Yeah, I mean, and maybe some language that says if it's in the best interest of the city and the citizenship, you know, to change the language to avoid, you know, litigation or some actions.
But, so, my
But
concern about then
I
is
know
that they
what you're
put
saying.
they put that in there in the first place, then they change it once it gets past us, okay? So, we are the overseers
Yeah.
of what should be done, so at least, there are some smaller things that you need to renegotiate as a
Right.
lawyer, you know, and they could be small things, but, I'm
at
burned.
least we should be known.
I'm burned once that
notified.
happened
I
over there
agree.
across the street.
Agree.
I err on the side of caution. Let us know, then we can say yes or no, that was, that was what we intended, and say that's more major than what we intended, and no, that's not something that we agreed to.
And I have another question. It's
Yes,
sort
ma'am.
of these are in the previous board bill. These, I don't know if that's just it's hard to tell. Since it's in the previous board bill, there's not much we can do
Right.
about it, so I just have a
Right.
question.
Why was it there?
Well, yeah, and maybe because of the conversion into being on computer or something, who knows, no.
I don't
So,
know.
Okay,
Anything else?
no more.
Any questions? Okay, so with the one change that we have, which was on page 5 of the Exhibit A, lease agreement, I'd entertain a motion that we pass our Board Bill 233 with a do pass recommendation.
So moved,
Second, previous row.
previous row.
Any objection to previous roll?
No?
Hearing none, Board Bill 233 is passed out with a do pass recommendation. We had a lot of things in our committee, we're not gonna be able to finish them all, and Carol and I have been sitting here since 9 o'clock this morning. So we are going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, board bills. We're gonna have to meet sometime before we come back in session. Sign and die is the 20th? Okay, so sometime before April the 20th, we will have to have a meeting for these 5 board bills. And I will reach out to all of you and find out what's good and try to set it ahead of time so we can make plans. Sorry about this, but I think they're bringing too much at us at one time, and it's not good for us to be doing
Well,
this.
this is the end of the session.
I
which-
know,
Like
have
rush
some others
hour.
from this meeting
tomorrow, so we were gonna have to do it anyway. Okay,
What's
because
that?
we're gonna still have some others that get referred to us
Tomorrow.
from this, so we
Yeah,
were gonna
we're
have to meet anyway.
yeah.
Right.
Can we, so board bill has to be in by, to us by when? It should have already been in.
We got some more coming, cause tomorrow we're gonna perfect some more board bills, and once they're
Mm-hmm.
perfected, they come to us.
Okay, so if I want to write a board bill before,
So,
It's too late
no,
for
no,
that.
you can, but you can write it because
For
the
when we
21st
start.
starts, April 21st starts the new session.
okay,
So we already passed a resolution that said, first we said it was the 20th, and then we moved it to the 28th, or was it?
21st to the
28th. Okay, yeah, we moved it 1 week back so that Jeffrey can rename the street for Sam.
so a
So,
board bill can't come in until,
next session.
it has to be next session.
But next session starts the day after sign and die,
April 21st.
Okay.
April 21st. So
introduce
when
the
as
bill.
soon as we come back, it'll already be next
Right.
session, and
Okay,
you can
so I
have,
work
right,
on it done.
Exactly.
Great.
Right.
right.
Okay, all right. Okay.
We might even look into pre-filing, something that other jurisdictions and bodies do.
Jurisdictions do, yeah.
They do in Jeff City, they do pre-filing. Right now, I
But
don't
I
think
mean,
we have
what would-
anything set up for that.
What would be the point though of that?
Just to start getting them in. We know we can't have board bill number 1, because that's the,
Right, that's the budget.
right.
Right. But what I'm saying is that there's no action taken until we can reconvene, correct?
No, but just lining them up, know where you got, know what you're going,
Oh, okay.
you know, so you
I
can
mean,
have them already
I kinda
in.
thought we did that, I mean,
No,
not officially, unofficially.
right,
Yeah,
but maybe
okay.
if we could set something up officially so that we can
Okay.
just have it lined up. And we're gonna look at some limitations about how much gets sent to us, how it's done, in order it's done. There's some better ways to do this that
More
won't,
efficient, yeah.
right.
Are these on the, internet or anything that we can look at them before we get here?
Yes, he sends it
He
to
always
us.
sends them to us.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Because so much coming in this.
I know, we know.
Okay, so you send it to
Yes.
us and I could really read
Via
it before
email,
I get
yes.
it? Okay then, cause I don't read this, I don't read as fast as
No, you're
Carol
fine.
and
No,
the
no,
chair.
no, we don't
Plus, I
read everything.
understand.
We don't read everything, so we're skimming,
Right.
looking
Right,
for
okay.
mistakes, which as the more you get to know this, so.
Right, that's what I mean.
Right.
And so I don't know it as well, so.
Right.
So I don't know what to look for as well, so I wanna wanna
Yeah.
improve my,
You're fine, you're fine.
Depends.
Everybody has a learning curve.
okay
No
then.
worries.
We appreciate
And
you
we're-
come here, you
We're just
on
gonna
time.
put this
Right.
back in the stack, or
Right.
we're gonna,
We're gonna
you're
put it back in the
call
stack,
him?
and I'm gonna still call him
Okay.
about it, but
Okay.
I don't wanna do it
Right,
and then it's wrong,
Right.
okay?
so,
So,
Okey-doke.
what we are leaving in here, just to be sure, we're leaving Board Bill 234, 235, 236, 239, 242, and then 224, I'm gonna call Alderman Coatar.
wait a minute, 224, wait a minute, I'm missing one, 239 is the last one?
234, 235, 236, 239, 242, And then Jack Coater's, Alderman Coater's was
242?
224. You don't have a 242?
Oh, hold on, or maybe
It's
I,
the very last one.
I don't have it.
unless it's stuck here.
He
I
said,
don't have
Oh,
it.
here it is, it was stuck to the other
Let me
one.
see.
It was stuck to the, skinny
Should
one
we
was stuck
bring
to the
these
fat
back
one.
when we come, or what should happen? What,
if you wanna take them home and read them, you're perfectly welcome to do
oh,
that.
I'm gonna do that, but I
Okay.
mean, when we come back.
You can, that way we don't waste paper, but if you don't, the clerk will get us some more.
Okay, okay then, I'll take them home and read them, okay then, I don't
You
like.
can mark
them.
them up and everything.
I don't, okay then.
He said, we'll make money.
No, I'm saying, I don't wanna take
Oh,
them.
then we'll keep.
I mean, I just put my name on it so I can get
Okay.
my same ones, cause I've kinda marked some of them, but these
Okay.
are all,
Is there anything else the committee wishes to bring up?
no ma'am.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
I'll make-
moved?
Second.
Okay,